easily discuss important issues with them. I'd like to lay special focus on two interesting facts. Checkit several times analyzed pills that contained PMA and PMMA that caused the death of more than 20 people within the last year in the whole of this world, and there were at least 10 casualties in Europe. Producers produce PMA, that's our knowledge, because it's very easy to get a hold of the precursors, and because the initial effects of PMA resemble the effects of ecstasy. The danger with it is that the effects start a bit later, 40-50 minutes after intake, which makes people take more, and then they easily reach a threshold where they can die due to overheating of the body. The temperature goes up to 43 to 46 degrees, and people die to systematic organ failure, internal bleedings. We had one casualty in Austria, a 70-year-old boy, and he died even so the people tried to cool him down with ice-cold water, and even so he received more than 15 liters of blood within a time frame of 2 hours. We managed to warn the audience at the rave on site. There was a group of about 5,000 people. The DJ made an announcement that there are especially dangerous pills on this rave, and more than 15 people came to us who had either taken it or were still in possession of the pill. We got in contact with the hospital, warned them that we might send a couple of people. And at the very same day in the morning, we put out a warning on the internet. We distributed the warning to all our partner organizations, and as well to the EMCDDA, who also received a lot of data about, for example, consumption patterns of GHB and ketamine use directly from Checkit. And today, Checkit is the only organization in Austria that is able to respond to new developments and issues like PMA in a very rapid way. I'd like now to go over to the situation in Europe. Since this picture was created with a trial edition of Smart Pro 5, I was not able to color in Portugal, who has, as I was told, also pill testing must have been a development within the last month. So you see that in a big proportion of Europe, there are several projects who perform pill testing in alphabetical order. It's Checkit in Austria, the project Modus Vivendi in Belgium, Mission XPD and Technoplus in France. It's a small organization in Hanover who is allowed to do pill identification, so they're not doing the testing itself, but they look at results they receive from the Netherlands, from the PIMS project, and they evaluate and have another look at the pills by quick analysis, which is not reliable, but in combination with reliable results, it's a way to do. We have one project in Portugal, there is energy control in Barcelona, and the project Pilot E in Bern, and now it is in Zurich, as well as even RAVE, Switzerland. There are a couple of differences between the projects that I would like to highlight briefly. There is a huge difference in terms of analytical mechanisms, both on-site, as we do it, and off-site, as for example the Dutch colleagues do. There are people who use chromatography, which is a very reliable instrument from a toxicologist's point of view. There are people who do quick tests, which are not reliable and very dangerous in our point of view, because, for example, they give you totally misleading results. They're not able to tell whether there are any substances such as PMA present in the pill. So they might be able to tell you that you have a small amount of MDMA in a pill, but you also could have an additional 60 milligram of PMA, for example, and the test wouldn't tell you. And then there is the process of pill identification, which I wouldn't call an analytical method. That's the comparison between listings, for example, from the Danish database or from Czech results, with pills you have in hand. When this is done, it's not an analytical method at all. However, you can do that if you try to secure your result with quick tests. Then they are relatively reliable. You can tell them that with a 90% accuracy, this pill contains that and that. And there's a difference between the dissemination of results. Most of the projects put out a graded amount of information. Some projects only tell the person who brought in the pill what the substance actually contains. Some projects only inform other people in cases of especially dangerous pills. And Czech has some information for all, because when you look at the boards, you know at this night there is mostly MDMA, but you have no idea in which pill which is present. And since there are more than 30 or 40 pills present at one particular night, they have no idea of guessing. But we give out information in cases of especially dangerous pill to all the audience. And there are some projects, or actually only one project, which is Even Rave in Germany, who has the philosophy of giving out information for everyone. Most of the other projects are against this philosophy, and even Rave is starting to get very pragmatic about this situation and position and to change this view. In terms of the similarities, all projects, of course, do pill testing. About every single project is producing and distributing information material. Most of the pill testing projects have other measures of harm reduction, such as giving out condoms, drinking water, or fruits. Everybody is offering information and counseling talks. Pill testing without that would go absolutely astray, would miss the goal. Most of the projects engage in scientific publications and or evaluation. That's also because there's a high pressure of justification that in turn may lead to higher quality within the projects. And most of the projects are running a website. I'd like to tell you now about the general goals of pill testing. I've talked about the Czech goals. I'd like to broaden that a bit and talk about the general goals. The foremost goal, of course, is harm and risk reduction. By delivering information in spoken word through the internet, by telling people about especially harmful substances. We try to raise publicity, or we try to get publicity for prevention and risk reduction by offering pill analysis, both on and off site. We get access to a lot of people, as I told you before. It's a method to get risk reduction messages better across. It's very difficult to tell people who consume substances to take less if they don't know what the pill contains. They just can't believe in your message. If we are able to tell them your pill contains 120 milligrams of MDMA, and that is a very high dosage, and you run into these and these dangers, then they have the chance to take only a quarter or half of the pill, or wait some amount of time if they take some more. It's a very important tool for monitoring and science, and it's a good backup for safer house campaigns, because it's for most rave organizers a very important and good thing to have, and then it's also easier for them to offer additional things like less expensive drinking water, or they would think more about transportation service and so on. Via pill testing, you create a knowledge pool for prevention measures, both for primary and secondary prevention. You have, whether you like it or not, you have an influence on the black market, at least on the local situation, because when we warn against especially harmful substances, nobody who knows about these results would indulge in buying these pills anymore. And this, of course, also leads back to the producers itself, because the local dealers, who in the most cases even themselves don't know what the substances contain, would not buy with these producers anymore. That it's a possibility to get information across to the whole society, and I regard this as very important. It's, if a ministry, for example, gives out information, that in most cases for youngsters, this information do not have the credibility as if projects such as Check It put out information. So you actually have the possibility to get a lot of information across once you have a name and reputation and credibility within the scene. And it's also, in a way, a prerequisite for early warning systems such as the EMCDDA. There are some general lines of criticism towards pill testing. One of which is that pill testing projects make publicity for good tablets. This might be right for projects who post all their results. However, if you only put out information about especially harmful substances, then nobody knows what the good tablets are. They also say that testing is a service to dealers. The same argument holds true. Dealers only know in the whole range about the bad substances, and if they have a good pill, because they brought it to us and we don't know about dealers, so if they bring a good pill under quotation marks to us, then they are not able to convince anybody else, because they don't have they don't get a certificate that they have a good pill, so to say. Another line of criticism is that testing creates a climate of acceptance and thereby enlarges the number of users. Now, we only present at raves and in clubs and meet people who have up to 40 to 60% already tried pills such as ecstasy, or they have friends who are consuming it. So for them it's nothing new that people consume substances. And every time when we get articles in newspapers, magazines, or on television, we are able to get factual information out and be able to inform about risks. There is another line of criticism saying that adulterates in pills are of no major concern. Well, the cases of PMA, methamphetamine, and atropine tell us that they are of major concern. This is one line. The other line is that we don't focus only on pills that contain something else apart from MDMA. We try to warn people and tell them about the risks of ecstasy and MDMA itself, especially when they have high amounts of MDMA present. There's another line saying that testing produces pseudo-certainty. We found out that only 2 out of 315 people who approach us wouldn't consume or dare to buy a pill if testing wasn't present. So people take their pills whether testing is present or not. However, when we are there, we have the chance to tell them what the pills contain, and we're actually in a position where people have a pill, they bought it, they want to consume it, but then they wait for half an hour, they wait for the result, and 2/3 of the people say they wouldn't take the pill if it contained something dangerous. Finally, questions of evaluation. The question whether it's possible to reach more people through pill testing has to be answered with a clear yes. When we are present without pill testing with the same team, we reach about 30 people a night. With pill testing, it's up to 300 people. Even so, only 70 or 80 people use the testing itself, so it's an advertisement. We have a good overview of the people, content, consumption patterns, and the market situation, so you can yield a lot of scientific data through pill testing. And the big question is whether it leads to less risky behavior. Now, it's a very difficult question from a methodological point of view, because so many different things can lead to less risky behavior. It's very difficult to answer because sometimes we only see people once. We have some indicators that tell us that it leads to less risky behavior. There's currently a huge EU-sponsored study going on where Germany, the Netherlands and Austria is involved, and we have hoped to get some more information on this topic when the study is completed in the end of the year. That's the last one. Is it still useful after all these years? Well, we're still confronted with rapidly changing scenes. People constantly drop out and in of scenes. We realize that people normally stay only 2 or 3 years within the rave scene and then they drop out. And our goal is it to get them out relatively healthy, with no major health concerns. That means we have to give the same information again and again and again. And also, new substances appear on the market, such as PMA or 2CT or 2CB and other things, and substances reappear. So we always have to have a close look on what's currently going on. And finally, I believe that pill testing provides an easy access to these scenes, gives accurate information about consumption patterns, motives, needs and actual pill contents, and to my knowledge is the most effective way to deliver information, risk reduction measures, and to offer counseling talks to these and similar scenes. That's why I believe that pill testing could also be a very good idea for some Nordic countries. I believe it's not possible to implement it in Sweden. I don't know about Norway and Denmark, but when I hear about projects like Future, I think that the prerequisites are actually already present. And if you look for collaboration within the university hospitals, I think they would eagerly participate, and in Denmark you already have systems like that. If you want to have any more information, you can contact me at this email address. There's also some information about the prevention system in Vienna in general on the page Drogenhilfe.at. And if you like to get in contact with the current project managers, check it. That's Sophie Lachut. You can do so over her email address. You find some more information and check it on Check Your Drugs AT, where you also can download a couple of, I believe, interesting reports. I have the current report with me for you. And on Check Your Drugs AT, you can also download the reports that we did for the EMCDDA, or you download it directly via the page from the EMCDDA. Thank you.